Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Sea Power. Today we're using USS Dallas. And the USS Dallas has a simple mission. Kill the big thing with the submarine. That's the type of mission, as it was described in the workshop. What's the big thing? Well, you get one guess. Yeah, it's a Kirov. We're hunting a Kirov with a submarine. Why not? Because they're always fun and challenging, so let's have a look. The Dallas, in its vanilla configuration, gets a few torpedoes. We also get a couple of harpoons, as well as some decoys and noisemakers. My current position is over here in the GIUK gap, and it looks like once again the Soviets have taken it upon themselves to try and escape. So once again, we're gonna come up and have a listen and see what they're up to. Let's come to above the layer. We have the towed array already streamed. Layer depth is 375. We are at 441. So let's get up to a shallower depth and listen in, see if we can find that enemy task force. As mentioned, vanilla, so no special weapons, no weird gear, no high-end shit that's going to either hunt me or can be used to hunt others. My intention right now is to go to periscope depth. I don't really want to use the periscope, I want to use the ESM. To figure out if I'm that close to the enemy already, or if the enemy is still pretty far away, because the message was they're somewhere to your east, which can be in any number of places, of course. We are now at periscope depth. We're going to raise the ESM. It's not a guarantee they got their radar up. Nope. Either they don't have the radar on, or they're too far away. Scopes are clear. Alright. I'm going to stick to above the layer, and we're just going to cruise in the direction that was set by the scenario creator, because I suspect that we might eventually end up closer to the Kirov. So we're going to run this at 30 times speed, 50 times speed even. I can probably detect things at about, what, 50 miles? Let's say 35 is a safer margin. My torpedoes can hit out to 20 miles, not the 27 that you might be familiar with now from the Mark 48 AdCaps. Nope, we're down to 20 miles again. Which, especially with escorts, means that if they are carrying Silex missiles, this is going to get pretty interesting. They can hit out to 27 miles, so if they detect me, I have a potential torpedo coming right for me. We have a new contact on sonar, 7002, moving at 19 knots. That makes it too fast to be a civilian, unless it's one on a pleasure craft. We have him on the passive sonar from Dallas out at a range of 59 miles, almost 60. We're now going to establish some confidence about what we're looking at. I very much doubt it's going to be a Long Beach. That would be an American ship. Confidence 37... Well. That could be a Kirov. They're on a course of 249. So that is going to put them roughly there. That means that Dallas is going to change course. I'm going to lay in ambush, as that is what this ship, sorry, this boat does best. There you are. No, actually, you're somebody else. You're 7003. Who are you then? I'm going to say this guy's hostile, and that probably means you're going to be hostile as well. What are you? An Alvant? Highly unlikely. Rogov wouldn't be a really good escort ship. Akara, Kashin, Udaloy, Slava, Krivak, could be any number of those things. Confidence about 0.4. They're still way too far away for me to even think about engaging them. Well... that's not entirely true. I could throw harpoons in their face and see if that'll work. Because that has a minimum range of 3.5 and a maximum range of 65. The challenge is getting those things on target as there is a Kirov around. Which probably means that the Kirov's going to go, huh, missiles, nice, and just shoots them down without really giving the harpoons any kind of a chance to shoot or to inflict any damage. I wonder why they're fading in and out, but it might have to do with conversion zones. Expected range, yeah, about 50-55 miles. Their speed is, at least last time I detected them, about 19 knots. So let's do the math. They're about here in This is going to be 2 hours from now, 38. So let's go on a course of what, 247, something like that. That's going to be 19 knots, doing 1. This is not going to be exact, but at least giving me some indication about where they're going. 2. And course 248, 19 miles. There. Okay, so this is pretty much where they're going to be in 3 hours from now. That means that if I want to go there at 5 miles, I better start making progress directly for it. I'm going to go 2/3, which will give me 10 knot speed. And that 10 knot speed should put me very well into position where I want to be. Because I want to be about here, I think. So that the engagement range is going to be about 10 to 12 miles. That'll give my torpedo still plenty of room to engage targets and have fuel to chase. So that's the plan. That's where we're going to go. A few hours later, I've closed to a position from where I'm thinking of preparing for the engagement. My ships, my targets, are in range, but if you give this Kirov some opportunity to run away, it is still going to run out of range. So I'm still going to have the Dallas close in. I know that there is something else behind the Kirov. I believe that to be an Udaloy. There are most likely going to be some other ships, because I keep losing track of 708, 7009. See, there's another one. But I'm kind of losing track of them every once in a while. I am above the layer still, and that means I am limiting myself to just 5 knots. I am absolutely not in a hurry. And it looks like the Kirov's not in a hurry either. It's almost like the waypoint for this unit has ended right here, leading to this thing just kind of going in circles. Bit weird. If it had continued right on its path, that would have been a bit more convenient for me. But hey, the enemy cannot always be expected to do what you want them to do. So, that's going to mean that the Dallas is going to have to close in. Now, as for engagements, I would of course like to kill the Kirov. However, killing the Kirov and then having to run away from a bunch of escort ships is not great. So ideally, I want to hit the Kirov maybe 1 or twice with torpedoes, and the other ships at least once. So all these escorts are going to have to take a torpedo, because it means they'll be crippled. They will not be as capable of shooting back against Dallas, and that's going to improve my survival chances, making sure that I can actually fight again. And reload the torpedo tubes, which typically take about 15 minutes. Now this guy's in 10-mile range. See, the Kirov is just kind of doing slow turns here. Which means that these escort ships are going to have to work pretty hard in order to get a whole lot of their terrain covered. Because this guy's doing small circles, but this guy's doing much larger circles. And that's meaning that he's doing 25 knots. So what I'm going to do is prepare to shoot this ship. It's an Udaloy. Prepare to shoot this Udaloy when it's doing a high-speed maneuver on the way towards me. That way, it'll ideally not be able to detect the torpedo. And, on top of that, it'll be going into my torpedo. It'll be coming towards me. Yeah, Kirov's still continuing its turn. You can see that it has a ship over to about its 1 or 2 o'clock. And I suspect that's the Udaloy. They're just circling. And there's the other one. 15 knots. That's the guy over to your right. That's you. And there's one behind you that I have not yet detected. Because he's probably... He must be doing a high speed as well, trying to keep his position relative to the Kirov. Udaloy is now 9 miles out. See, now he's running away from me. Inadvertently, because he doesn't even know I'm here, ideally. Oh. Hold on. Go below the layer. I'm going to shoot this Udaloy from below the layer, because that will ideally mask the sound of my launch. Last known position there. I'm going to send a full spread, because there's no shortage of targets. The only challenge is this guy... Oh, now they're doing 6 miles. Now they're doing 6 knots. Look, that's not what I want you to do. I want you to go loud. They're slowing down to 6 knots. Lost the targets. Lost the track. Now, he's also streamed his variable depth zoner right in the back there. So it's possible he will detect the launch, but not at high speeds. Yep, that's an active sonar. At high speeds, that variable depth sonar is not going to be that useful. So let's see, is this Kirov? He's still changing course. He's coming over to 270, 280. He's doing his weird little circle, which is what units do when they don't actually have an order. Come above. There is the Kirov. Where's the Udaloy? There's the... Ooh, you're much closer than I wanted to. Now you're running away. Alright. At this range, he's doing 25 knots, but my torpedoes can go up to 50. So my plan here is to go down again. I'm going to suspect he's going to do something like this. So that's where my torpedoes are going to go, but only from below the layer. Layer's 284, so we're going to lose contact right around now. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. Reason I'm shooting all 4 tubes is because that'll allow me to reload these tubes in about 15 minutes. And with that level of firepower, I'm bound to at least get 1 hit. Also, the Kirov is kind of getting fucked over by the Udaloy at this point. Because if you look at where the Kirov and the Udaloy are, my hope is that the Udaloy is making so much noise in the western direction that the Kirov, which is only doing 6 knots or something, isn't able to hear it. That's the plan here. Now, ideally, of course, you would dogleg these torps, but at the moment, I don't think it's going to be that necessary, because the way that this is going to go, the Udaloy is going to eventually meet the torpedoes, and it's going to go, hold on, I'm seeing torpedoes right around there, so they're going to shoot back in that direction, which means that Dallas is safe. At least, that is my plan. I'm going to maintain position close to the layer, so that I can quickly pop up or down, depending on whether or not I can find my contacts again. Change course slightly southeast. Pop up and listen. There he is. Oh, you're actually changing course again, huh? Still at 25 knots, though. Okay, let's tell this torpedo to lock on. 2 miles out. You're going to continue on your path. My priority is to hit the Kirov at least once, so that it'll be crippled. I don't want this thing to be able to run away anymore. If it's doing 6 knots, it's perfectly fine. If it's going to be doing a whole lot more speed than that, well, it can outrun me. Because a Kirov can do, what, 30, 32 knots. So it can run away from me. The only thing I fear is this, at least for now, because that will cause issues. Also, their helicopter just came back, which is interesting. I think this Udaloy is going to be mostly oblivious to what's about to happen, because they're still running around at 25.5 knots. Torpedo closing to 1.4. Torpedo's locked on. There's the next contact doing 6 knots. Any behavioral change from Kirov? No, nothing. Nothing. Oh, there's the RBUs. They're trying to kill off the torpedo. Which sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. And it looks like in this case, the torpedo got away. Now, find me an Udaloy and sink it. Depth, 70 feet, 60. That's a nice hull you got there. Shame if something happened to it, like, oh, I don't know, a Mark 48. Another escort ship in the distance. And that's going to be a big boom. Okay. That'll at least give him a headache. If not, flat out sink him. Continue on your course. I want to spread out the torpedoes some to make sure that if one gets attacked by RBUs, the other one doesn't accidentally get caught in the blast. You're now doing no speed. Propulsion on 7015, that's the Udaloy, has been crippled. Excellent. Now, what are you doing? You're doing 2.8 knots, Kirov. Kirov's either unaware or uncaring. There's the burning Udaloy. Alternative option is that he doesn't know. Kirov doesn't get a variable depth sonar, does it? Because if it... Yeah, it does. The Polynom. But it doesn't have it deployed. Okay, here's what I think is happening. The Udaloy had a variable depth sonar. But the Udaloy has stopped, meaning that the VDS, the variable depth sonar, isn't actually doing anything. The Kirov doesn't have it deployed. And these torpedoes are cruising at 320 feet, which is below the layer. That means they can't actually find it. So, this Kirov probably doesn't know it's coming under attack yet. Let's have this torpedo lock on, which will also tell it to change its depth. I'm going to engage you again. Actually, you're going to continue on your course. For now. Sovrameni, still holding. You don't get a variable depth sonar. The Kirov does get the RBUs. And that's a noisemaker. The Sovrameni also threw a noisemaker, so that means the Kirov is not going to respond. 15 knots, 16, 17, 18. They're starting to increase speed, trying to desperately get away from the torpedo. Unfortunately for them, they cannot run as fast as my Mark 48 can, which is going to be the end of them. They're still doing 16 knots, changing course east. I wonder what the Sovrameni is doing. Sovrameni is doing something similar, changing northeast. Running away from the torpedo at best speed. Which for Sovrameni I think is also about, what, 30, 32, 33 knots? How fast can you run? 33. You might be able to run, but you won't be able to outrun me. Where's that Kirov at? Don't know. Okay, Dallas, come up to above the layer. I want to be able to guide this torpedo in. Udaloy looks like it's seen better days. That thing is probably not going to be that big of a problem anymore. Already badly listing the port. And considering the fire, I think it might continue to take hit point damage, if you will. So that it'll probably continue to flood, burn, and die. Excellent. This torpedo has changed course. I've either lost the wire or is completely locked on. It's changing depth. I've still got control of this Mark 48. Let's lock onto the Kirov as well. Insofar as I know where that thing is. Own ship depth. 235. I can't actually hear him. Torpedoes reloaded in 4 minutes. This torpedo is at a depth of 312. Okay. 227. They're both chasing something, that's for sure. But whatever they're chasing, that Kirov is no longer where it used to be. And the torpedoes seem to be well aware of that. This one's changing depth, 256. So, I think we might get 3 hits on them. 233, 230, 210. There's another noisemaker out there. And what ship is that? You're not what I'm looking for. You're not the Kirov. But we got a couple of big props up ahead. That's what we're chasing. There come the RBUs. As they're heading away, they only got the stern RBUs to work with. If you're using a Kirov against a submarine, or rather against torpedoes, you have the option of changing course, and that's what he's doing right now, to try and bring the bow RBUs to bear. The risk is that it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, you're going to just open up your entire port side, in this case, to, well, get even worse of an attack on you. I think we're going to pretty much have a simultaneous impact of 3 torpedoes here. This one's going to hit him on the stern. This one's going to hit him on the port side. Well, unless he's changing course. There's the other torpedo.
Torpedo in the water, bearing
Hit. That's the second hit. We've got a bunch of torpedoes coming in. But look at where they are. There, here, here, here. They're just throwing out torpedoes, trying to desperately do something. Because they seemingly have absolutely no idea where I'm at. These SAT-65s typically don't have a lot of range. You got SAT-65, right? 8-mile range. I'm 12 miles out. The only ship which could be a problem is the Udaloy. The Udaloy did somehow manage to secure the flooding, and well, at least it secured the fire. Not the flooding. These are only anti-submarine torpedoes, I believe. Yeah, it's not like they'll suddenly lock onto the Udaloy. Would be fun. But I think we're not going to quite get that lucky. Ah, the Kirov's been sunk and can no longer threaten the NATO carrier groups in the North Atlantic. Good job, Commander. Way to go, Dallas! Nice. Job done. So that's how you sink a Kirov. You ambush it, and you continue. I'm going to hit escape, because that'll allow me to continue, because we're going to hunt down and eliminate everything else as well. Udaloy is going to be the first to go. Engage track 701. I'm actually going to take this torpedo and dogleg it, because I have ample time to do that. In case you're not familiar with the term dogleg, you move it one direction, so that if the Udaloy shoots back, they're going to shoot at a position where you are not. On station. Oh, you've restored propulsion. How about that? Probably not a very comfortable ride. Considering... Oh, these are some really tough sailors. Not a very comfortable ride, considering you're listing over the port, like, what, 20, 30 degrees? As for the other ships... they've stopped? Right. Yeah, Kirov's toast. Leveled out. Right at the bottom. Oh yeah. Where do you see that? Because I don't have a torpedo in the water. Or rather, I'm not detecting it anymore. There's still torpedoes in the water, to be sure, but I'm not seeing them. Hey, Udaloy. I hear that your starboard side is still pretty intact. How about we change that? You couldn't get his RBUs away anymore. Good day. Fire broke out aboard again. And they're gone. Okay. Now, to hunt down the rest of you. The Sovremeni was last seen somewhere north of the Kirov. There is another one. At this point, we've sunk an Udaloy and a Kirov, which means that the enemy is going to have less air response, or rather less anti-air response. Meaning, maybe I can engage with harpoons. The harpoons, I'd say, are a worse weapon in this case, because there is a defense against a harpoon. There is not a defense against a torpedo. Well, yes, you have RBUs, but how well do those really do? Back in the day, they used to be extremely good, and Kirovs could just shake off entire attacks from submarines. These days, the weapon has been debuffed. Which means that this Kara might have RBU aboard, but it's not really going to do it. And you can see that the AI absolutely has no clue what to do now that the formation leader, which is the Kirov, has been eliminated. Alright, he continues to change course. What is my intent going to be? I don't want to following the same path as the torpedo. Change northeast. And we're going to go below the layer, just because it's good practice. I don't want to get sloppy. Now we're going to shoot a torpedo. Dallas is going to continue on north. Now I can go back above the layer. There's the Kara. Change course. If they're going to shoot back, they might find the Dallas, so that's why I'm changing course. Range of the car is about 4 miles, 3 miles... Ah, there you are. You must be the Sovremeni then. Kara running at me at 15 miles. They might have their active sonar going. Do they? What? You don't even have your sonar going? You got a variable depth sonar, but... it's not deployed or this hatch would be open. There's the RBUs. Good effort. But that's not gonna... Whoa. Holy lag. Locked on. Your noisemakers have no power here. Little late too. And that's a hit. And now we're gonna send another torpedo due east. And another due east. That'll leave me with 1 torpedo. I mean, yes, 6 available, but 1 in the tube. I suspect that they'll have run out of steam. Last known marker is still pretty accurate. So at least the Sovremeni to be running around. I am going to shoot the... or I'll send 1 of the torpedoes north. But again, doglegging it. That'll allow me to get the Sovremeni. Change your course. Change your course, start searching there. If we can, lock onto it. Otherwise, you do have the risk that this torpedo is going to just maintain its depth of 290 and start searching for things down there, which it cannot do. See, now it's changing course and depth. This one's also preparing to engage. You got a cute noisemaker out there. Oh, the RBUs are still functional. How about that? And they still have propulsion. Well, well, well. Come to periscope depth. Once this Sovremeni is on fire, after being hit by a torpedo, I'm going to throw a harpoon in his face just because I can. This might end the Kara. Not as of yet. How are you doing? Depth 120. There's the RBUs. Oh, they got it! Well, well, well. They got it. How are you doing? Not great. 7039 classified hostile torpedo. It's a Set 65, which was launched from 8 miles out. So they could theoretically hit me. Yeah. I'm gonna have to stick around for 3 minutes. Ah, the car is gone. Stick around for 3 minutes because this guy is getting annoying. I mustn't underestimate my quarry too much because it still can shoot back with the Set 65s. Outside of that, it does have a helicopter, which can also be a problem. Its defenses are the SAN-7 Gadfly. And of course it has some Seawiz and chaff. About 10 seconds, go. Salvo 4, target, Sovremeni. Keep in mind that normally they do detect harpoons a little earlier. Now they're not really going to have that luxury. They're not going to have that luxury. These things are coming in at 500 knots, which means that they basically pop out of nothing. And the Sovremeni is going to have almost no time to launch missiles. They will definitely intercept probably 2 or 3. Because they're just that good. We're also getting spoofed. This missile is not really that interested in any of your nonsense. Another one was intercepted, and... okay. That should have been a torpedo. Yeah, see, this is why I don't use harpoons. Okay, wait for 15 minutes. Reload, throw torpedoes at them. Finish the job. The Sovereign many arguably cannot do much beyond throw set 65s at me and use the helicopter to throw torpedoes right down on top of me. That's really the only options that it has. Another option would be to just run, in which case I wouldn't really fault the guy, because I think that is the right call to make. Torpedoes in 2 minutes. 1. Okay, ready? He is maintaining course. 318. That's 308, whatever. Go below the layer. Layer depth. 329. Salvo 2. Shoot. 1 away. 2 away. Change course. Due east. This is, again, another security measure in case he decides to throw set 65s back at where the Mark 48s are going to come from. Which will mean that Dallas is once again safe. I do need to hear him. Dallas, above the layer. There you are. There's a noisemaker. Mark 48's acquired. The other Mark 48's thinking about it. Don't keep them too close. Because there is a potential for these things to run interference and both get hit by the same RBU. This one's gone for the noisemaker. Or has it? No, it's locked onto the ship. This one, however, I'm not too sure about. You're changing depth. Go get him. There you are. And now the other Mark 48 also has him. Oh boy. Okay, well, one was intercepted by the RBU, and the other one has caught the ship and killed it. So, that is a good job for Dallas. A good job for Dallas. 4 kills, no casualties, no damage, nothing. We're fine. Hope you guys enjoyed this little mission. Link down below in the description if you want to have a look. Let me know what your thoughts are below, and I'll see you soon for more videos.